Alright, enough of that. She'll go on forever. Let there be light. So, we're starting on the inside before we go out to the cemetery, and there's a reason for that. A little story behind the cemetery. So, over the years, we've done a couple of different things. We did a zombie on the porch, breaking through a bunch of gates. We did scarecrows, and we finally settled on a theme the one year. It was going to be a butcher scene, and it was coming along pretty good. After the first year that we ran it, I went out and bought a bunch of body parts, and then the year next, we were out at Target, and my daughter seen this little banshee here, and they said to me, it's like, hey, let's do a graveyard this year. So I went and bought it, and we switched the theme, and now you're going to see what the whole thing looks like. Follow me, guys. Welcome to the graveyard. We're going to start with the oldest piece out here, and that is this banshee here. She is about 7 years old. Picked her up at a drugstore on clearance after Halloween for about $5. It is a little cheesy here. If you can notice, you'll see some ribs here that is just kind of painted onto the cloth. So we kind of spruced it up here with some drapes that you can get at the dollar store. I think it does the trick. I was aiming for death. It delivered. So let's take a look at the next item out here, and that is going to be the columns with fire. Some of the things that you're going to see out here today is 50% made by myself and the kids in the house. One of these things here, what you'll see is towers. Now, I was looking for videos on how to make tombstones last year, and I came across building Halloween towers, and that's what you see here. Only thing is, I one-upped it, and I went out and I bought some torches that were on clearance for tiki torches, planted them in the center of it so that it stabilizes it into the ground, and light it up on fire. 4 towers, $35 for foam insulation at Lowe's or Home Depot, wherever you go, and some paint, and some tiki torches here, and you got an awesome looking set of decorations here. Now, the yard looked a little incomplete last year when we made these for the first time. I only got 4 out of the 4x8 foam insulation board that we used. So this year, we actually created 2 massive towers to complete the entrance into the graveyard, which we're going to take a look at right now. A little more DIY magic here. So a lot of people tend to come over here and they touch these and move them around a little bit because they're trying to see if they're real cement. But again, it's foam insulation. These are our towers here that finishes the front of the yard. And for a nifty little idea, I found these, again, clearance at the end of last year. Little lanterns. Not plugged in, they are battery operated. So it gives a nice little effect and ambiance to that. So the front of the yard now kind of looks like the beginning of my cemetery. Come on in, guys. Let's take a look at the next item. What we're seeing now is inside the cemetery. Now, again, the kids and I, what we did is we created our own tombstones because up until this point, we were using real slate. And that kind of digs up the yard a little bit. And it gets heavy because some of the stones that we had were massive. So we went and picked up another sheet of foam insulation board, created our own tombstones this year instead of going with the real thing. But let's take a look at some of the first couple of pieces that we added to the yard here. First one that we're going to see is Soulless Girl on a Swing. This is a Spirit Halloween piece, and she actually has been in our outside decor for about 3 years now, and she draws a lot of attention from people that are passing by. People actually come into the yard to stand next to her to take pictures. So it's a really cool piece. When the wind picks up, it blows. It looks really creepy. Sometimes she kind of spins around and looks in the house, which creeps us out inside the house as well. So this piece here, love it. Probably my favorite in the entire set of pieces that you're going to see out here. Now, to the left of her, you're going to see the Sinister Spirit doll. We picked her up last year. Another cool piece here. Up until this point, I was using her as Samara from The Ring. and she was coming out of a well that was lit up. Really cool piece. I think it kind of complements each other. Let's take a look at the next piece. This is Waving Wally, another piece from Spirit Halloween. Now, I know what you might be thinking here. How does a clown and a cemetery kind of fit the whole ambiance of the graveyard? Take a look at him. He's creepy as fuck. I think he works out here pretty well. Now, despite what my wife said when I first picked him up, that he wouldn't fit in, I think he does a pretty good job of creeping people out. Look at that blue light flash on him. I think it works really nice. Let's go take a look at a couple other pieces. We're going to talk about one of the new pieces this year, and that's called Mommy's Favorite. As you can see here, she kind of just rambles on and on. But I have to say, for Spirit Halloween, this is probably one of the best pieces I've seen. The hair almost looks lifelike. Awesome. A very awesome piece here. Complements the whole entire scary cemetery really well. And I have a lot of plans for her next year.
Winter is cold, but we don't feel a thing, and we'll never get old.
That is Double Trouble right there. It is the first animatronic piece that I've ever bought and added to the graveyard.
Can you help us find it?
The twins there kind of built out what we have here now in the graveyard, because that here has scared our postman hundreds of times when he's come up here for the last several years. So once we started with these two, we decided to keep going. Let's take a look at the last piece on the porch. Okay, what you see here is Twisted Tina. She is the last piece that we've added to the collection so far this year. And I have to say, she's done her job. When I first bought her, I planted her into several rooms in the house, scared the kids, scared my wife's cousin when he came over. He actually screamed and ran out of my son's room. So this was the last piece that we added this year. She hangs on the wall. Another piece from Spirit of Halloween. I like it. It looks really good from the road. And it's just a nice finishing touch that we have for this year. Now, I will say this, especially during this time of year. Happy Halloween, everybody.